everyone, welcome back to the Library of Parthos. My name is Sarah and I am super excited today because we are talking about what has become my new favorite manga, and that is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. This is volume 3. This is the last physical volume that I own, so I'm in a little bit of a pickle because I'm not sure. There's a lot of these, and I don't know that I necessarily feel the need to own all of them, but I am just devouring them. So I want access to them, and I also don't want to like corrupt my phone and my computer by using sketchy sites. It's not on the Jump app, I already checked. So all that to say, if you know of a reliable place to access the rest of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, please let me know, because I do want to continue as soon as possible without like purchasing every individual volume. I also just don't need to clutter up my shelves more than what they already are. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig into it. This manga. It's hilarious. It's so funny, so lighthearted, but man, did we get deep and heavy in this volume. So we're gonna dive into that today. So just a quick recap of characters, kind of story so far, and then we'll dive into everything in volume 3. And of course, my thoughts at the end. So stick around for the end of the video, hear my final thoughts and kind of predictions for moving into volume 4. So in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, our main character, Nene Yashiro, is in a middle school. She discovers that there are 7 mysteries, 7 ghosts essentially of the school, and sets out to investigate the first one, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, who she assumes is a girl and is surprised to find out that it's a boy who is in the girl's bathroom. And so all sorts of shenanigans ensue. He is kind of making her clean the bathroom and help him with all of these investigations, kind of making sure that the other school mysteries are all under control and handled. They are joined by Cal Minamoto, who is from a long line of exorcists, and so ultimately he is supposed to be exorcising Hanako-kun, but is just not really into it. He believes that he's good, and he kind of wants to wait and see if he's proven right before he exorcises him. So I think that's kind of it. Summary wise, every volume has gone into a few of the different school mysteries or some smaller supernatural elements at work. So Yashiro is really interested in learning more about the school mysteries. In particular, she wants to know more about Hanako-kun because she wants to know, first of all, why he is a boy when all of the stories say that he should be a girl. She also wants to know why he's a ghost and why he's there. And he does mention early on that he killed somebody, but has not gone into details. So the fact that he is a murderer and the way that he acts and takes care of her and treats other people are not lining up. And so she is trying to find out more information. So a girl who is definitely going to come into play later, she's for sure not just a one-off character, comes into the library where Yashiro is doing some research and says, hey, if you really want to know more about the 7 mysteries, you should check out mystery number 5. It's the 4 p.m. book stacks. So the 4 p.m. book stacks are this special storage room that only opens at 4 p.m. Inside is a book for every student who has ever attended the middle school. So if it's a white book, it means that person is still living. Black books mean they have deceased, and red means don't read it. Or consequences of some sort. So Yashiro and Minamoto decide that they're going to go to the 4 p.m. book stacks and they're going to look for Hanako's book. They don't even know what his name was when he was alive, so they decide that the best place to start is with their own books, because if they find that information, it should be in their book in the future pages. So as they're looking, they get to the future section. As they're reading about the future, the pages are turning red in front of them. And so that is the section that they're not supposed to read, not the red books. There were no red books. So one of the things that cracks me up about the story is how it's so lighthearted and just comical. And so one of the things that Yashiro reads is that she goes on a date and her date tells her he doesn't want to see her again because her legs are too chubby. And so that's one of the pages that turns red. And throughout the rest of this arc, she's so concerned about changing the future where she doesn't end up in this situation being told that her legs are too chubby. So of course all this bad stuff happens because they read the red pages. Hanako saves the day, of course, and we get to meet Mr. Mystery number 5 himself, the curator, who's actually one of their teachers. So he's a supernatural who's been kind of playing at being a teacher and also then curating the 4 p.m. book stacks. So School Mystery number 2, which is the little fox statue we saw in volume 2, number 5, the curator, and then Hanako, who's number 7, are all working together because they think that there's a traitor amongst the 7 school mysteries because things keep happening and things are going poorly. So as we saw in volume 2, the Misaki stairs were kind of corrupted and things had gotten out of hand there, not the way they were supposed to be. So they are trying to figure out a way to find out who this traitor is. Hanako suggests that they all destroy their Yorishiro, which are the important items to them that give them the most of their power. So if they destroy all of those, everyone's kind of on equal footing, and then they can choose another of the 7 school mysteries. It sounds like it's kind of like almost an elected position based on how much power you have, how much support you have. You kind of get to that position of being one of the 7 mysteries. In addition, destroying the Yorishiro will make sure that nobody like goes berserk like they've seen in the past, because they'll again lose a good portion of their power, so they won't be able to like go insane like some of them have. So since Yashiro was able to destroy the scissors on the Misaki stairs, they decide she's probably the best bet for destroying this Yorishiro, and so she and the curator set off to find his. It is just a rock, seemingly. He says it's a lunar rock. So see, this is what happens. They get you with the fun little stories and the cute little ghosts and the funny bits about you have chubby legs, and then just stab you in the heart. So we get a flashback from the curator of several years ago when he had a student, Amane Yugi. Amane Yugi says that he would probably want to become a teacher. He has this moon rock that's super special to him. It's like his most prized possession. It seems like he wants to get out of there by any means possible. And so there's a part where he's standing on a window ledge, and it's kind of, the curator's like kind of nervous about it. And then he says, I think I've decided that I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going anywhere at all. So of course, Amane Yugi is Hanako. So we finally get to see his past self. What was going on, we don't know. So to kind of wrap up the summary, she destroys the Yorishiro. They don't talk about this with Hanako, but I think he kind of suspects that the curator may have told her more than what she was supposed to know. I'm also not convinced that he realizes who the curator is. That's a different story. In the next chapter, Minamoto asks Yashiro to help him bake donuts. Secretly, he's a really good cook and a really great baker, but she's been acting kind of weird around Hanako ever since finding out about his actual life. And so he knows that Hanako loves donuts and is trying to just help them like make peace with each other. And so he asks for her help to make donuts and then tells her to take some to Hanako. She gives him this bag that she thinks is filled with donuts, but actually there's a black crane inside, which I think he just like cuts with his knife or something. So this evil spirit kind of comes out and laughs and says, oh, you'll protect her, but you killed me. I finally found you, Amane Yugi. And that is the end of volume 3. A lot going on so far. Okay, wrapping it up with my thoughts on all of this stuff that's happening. So my thought is I think that Yugi was probably abused as a child, whether that's a bully or an adult. I don't really know. Sounds like he probably killed them in self-defense after kind of having enough of whatever abusive treatment he was getting, because in the story the curator is bandaging one of his wounds and says, like, you know, why does this keep happening, or something along those lines. So we're led to believe that this is not the first time this has happened. So that's my working theory. The story also tells us there's only been one person who has changed their future that was written in the 4 p.m. book stacks, and that was Hanako. And I'm thinking it was the part where he said that I'm going to stay right here, because in the story the curator says that he was supposed to be a teacher. And so I'm thinking at some point he decided, when he made that decision to stay right there, it kind of meant forever in some capacity, and so that's when his future was changed. So the fact that I haven't read more is killing me, because I need to know what happens. So I do think moving forward, I think that we're gonna get an exorcism of this evil spirit. I think obviously more information about Hanako is gonna come to light. I think maybe Minamoto and his older brother are gonna have to get involved to get rid of this evil spirit. And I think that girl we saw early on is involved in this evil spirit coming about. I think we did get glimpses of her on other pages in the story. And also I think one of the moke is working for her, which is kind of disappointing because I love those little rabbit guys. But anyway, that's pretty much it for volume 3 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I am so excited to dive into the rest of this manga. So again, if you know any reliable places that I could look for this that aren't going to crash my computer, I would greatly appreciate it if you've read the story or watched the anime, because I'm really excited to do that once I finish all of the volumes. Let's chat in the comments. Let me know your favorite parts. Let me know what I have to look forward to. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.